Hi everyone. Welcome to my guide to treasure. Now I know what you all must be wondering. How the fuck did I manage to make a 4-part guide? Well, I don't know, I started thinking it would be 1 part, but now here we are. This part is going to be much smaller than the other 3. I'm going to talk about treasure box in this part and how treasure formed. The other parts will be about the members, with each part focusing on 4 members. I know a lot of people don't like the robot voice, but please bear with it for this part. I promise it won't be as prominent in the other parts. Okay, let's get started. Treasure is a 12-member boy group that is set to debut on the 7th of August, and their fans are called Treasure Makers. Let's talk about how Treasure was formed, because I understand that if you didn't watch Treasure Box and if you weren't around at that time, it can be a bit confusing. Okay, so back in November 2018, YG aired the first episode of their new survival show Treasure Box. The show featured 29 YG trainees that were split into units. Treasure A, who were the most experienced trainees and had been at YG the longest. Treasure B, who were new to training, with most of the members only having a few months of training.
Gotta get up out of here, you and leave me, but yeah, I don't wanna be alone. Dear desperado, yeah, I don't wanna be alone.
Treasure C, who were the youngest trainees with an average age of 14 years old.
When you got more problems than me, yeah, I'm cool, but you don't wanna see that other side of me. And my mobbing depot, I'm a prodigy. I know that you been party all the time. Whoa, this gonna.
And finally, Treasure J. They were YG's Japanese trainees.
Play me some of that suicide pimpin'. Juice Man, ASAP Rocky, Suicide Boy. Y'all know what it is. Let's go.
The plan of the survival show was to narrow down the 29 and create a group consisting of 5 to 7 members. Now, clearly that didn't happen, so let me explain. In the finale, there were 13 contestants remaining, and it was decided that the group would have 7 members, and 4 of these members were announced during the finale, while the other 3 were announced in the coming days on vLive. This new group was called Treasure, and the members consisted of Haru Tabo, Bang Yedam, Sia Jungwon, Kim Jun Kyu, Park Jung Woo, Yoon Jae Hyuk, and Choi Hyun Suk. Fans, however, wanted more trainees to debut, and I don't know if this was YG's plan the whole time or if fan pressure made them do it, but a few days later a new group was announced, and this group was called Magnum. YG stated that Magnum and Treasure were connected groups, and when they came together they formed Treasure 13. Unlike Treasure, who would focus mainly on Korea, Magnum was supposed to focus more on Japan. Magnum's lineup consisted of Mashiho, Kim Doyoung, Yoshinori, Park Jahoon, Asahi, and Ha Yoonbin. Now it's important to note that not all the final 13 finalists in Treasure Box made it into Treasure 13. Soonhan and Byunghan, who were finalists and would later go on to be a part of CIX, weren't in the final lineup. However, Yoshinori and Asahi, both of which were eliminated earlier in the show, were in the final lineup. Treasure 13 was meant to debut in 2019, however YG got hit with scandal after scandal and their debut was put on hold. But the fans were told nothing. After about May of 2019 it was radio silent, and we had no idea what was happening or if there even was going to be a debut. This silence continued till January 2020, a full year after Treasure Box had ended. This update came with both good and bad news. The good news was there was going to be a debut. But the bad news was the Ha Yoonbin had left the group in December 2019 as he felt the group's musical direction wasn't the direction he wanted to go in. There were other changes as well. It was announced that the Treasure Magnum concept would be scratched, and instead, all the members would just be one big 12-member group called Treasure. The group also has 2 leaders, Hyun Suk, who was originally the leader of Treasure, and Jahoon, who was originally the leader of Magnum. Okay, so that's all the background. I know it's long, but I feel like it's helpful to know this stuff. I'll see you guys in part 2 where we get to know the members.